Hello, are you ready for this week's story? Now remember, if you're ready for a story, then I should be able to see your good sitting. Your eyes need to be looking, and you need to have your listening ears ready. And if you're doing all those things, then you're ready to do some learning with me today. Well done. Now this week's story is called Jack and the Beanstalk. Let's see what happens. Jack and the Beanstalk. Deep in the countryside lived a widow and her son Jack. Their cottage was crumbling and their clothes were patched. They were very, very poor. One day Jack's mother said, "We must sell our cow. Take her to market, Jack, and bring home some gold pieces." And so he set off into town. But before Jack got very far, he met a strange little man. "That's a fine cow," said the man. "I'll swap you 5 magic beans for her." "Magic beans?" said Jack. "Are they really magic?" "Magic they are, or I'd chop off my beard and knit it into a jumper," croaked the little man. Magic beans! Jack couldn't believe it. He couldn't wait to tell his mother. He clutched them tightly and he ran all the way home. Jack's mother was furious. "We need money, not useless old beans," she cried, and she threw them out of the window. But late that night, a tiny bean sprout poked out of the ground, and it grew and grew and grew. The next morning, the beanstalk stretched him high into the sky. "The beans were magic," Jack cried. "But what is at the top?" Jack climbed up, up, up the beanstalk. At last he reached the very top, and there, shimmering in the sunlight, was a magnificent castle. Just then, Jack's tummy began to rumble. "Oof, I must find some breakfast," he thought. He tapped on the castle door. The door creaked open. A huge giantess smiled down. "Hello," Jack shouted up. "Please, do you have any food?" "You poor thing," boomed the giantess. "Come right in, but quickly, before the giant gets up." What a marvellous feast! There was an enormous loaf of bread and a gigantic jar of jam. Jack tucked in at once. But suddenly the room began to shake. Boom, boom, boom. "Goodness me," cried the giantess. "He's coming." And she shoved Jack under a teacup to hide. Into the room stomped a big, scary, hungry giant. "Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman," he said. "Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread." "Don't be silly, there's nobody here but us," scolded the giantess. "Now go and have a wash before breakfast." Jack trembled and shook. "I must leave now," he thought. He was halfway down the hall when he heard a "Burkat, burkat." It was a hen with bright golden feathers. "Burkat! Help!" she clucked. "Set me free and I'll lay you golden eggs every morning." Jack scooped up the hen, but then he heard huge footsteps thundering after them. "Fee, fi, fo, fum, roared the giant. I smell the blood of an Englishman. And there he is! Jack raced out of the door. He jumped and slid down the beanstalk, down, 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 all the way back to his cottage. Mother, quick, bring the axe, he shouted. Jack's mother swung the axe at the beanstalk. Thwack! It shuddered and shook. And then the giant came tumbling down. Fee, fi, fo, crash. And that was the end of the giant. Jack hugged his mother tight. Look what I found, he said. And he showed her the golden hen. Oh, Jack, said his mother, I'm so glad you're safe, and you were right about those magic beans. So Jack and his mother and the golden hen lived happily ever after, and with lots of golden eggs. They were never poor again. Did you like that story? I hope so. The children in nursery school have really enjoyed listening to this story, and we've started to make our story maps so that we can tell the story without having to look at the book. Isn't that fantastic? What was your favourite part of the story? Talk to the grown-ups at home and see if you can remember some of the different things that happened in the story. Can you remember? What did the giant say? Well done. I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.